You can't point to any artist who had any traction, motion, blow up, anything pre-2023 because it was a different world then.
What changed?
Just oversaturation.
Okay. You think it just hit a point?
It just hit a point where like, yeah, at some point, like Nick D is great. And he was like, probably like not the first, but the first with traction to just take a camera that was better quality than an iPhone and lip sync in front of a camera.
Right.
Like he was like one of the first. There was a point in time where taking the concept of a budgeted music video and condensing it down to 22 seconds and just your chorus, there was a time in 2020 where that was innovative.
So let's talk about the marketing and the content then. So is there anything else you want to add when it comes to the brand side of things? I'm sure we'll touch back on it.
We'll probably end up circling back when we get into everything, but I think like, yeah, the main takeaway just for the audience is like branding is more than just the visual identity. It's what you represent. It's what people will walk away saying. Everyone knows what the Coca-Cola can looks like, but you also have been inundated with commercials, which is the content and the marketing, showing people drinking it at the beach and happy. And it's like, okay, Coke is for parties, for the beach, for good times. That's what it represents. That's the setting in which it represents. Your music, what setting? That's a big one that we always talk about. Like, what setting and branding is what gets the viewer, the fan, to that conclusion of like, this artist is who I listen to when I drive home at night because they've poured so much of themselves out in their content and the way that they've talked about these songs and these like horrible experiences that led to the super sad song. Like when I'm in my feels at night, that's when I listen to it. So like the content is just the pipeline message where branding kind of gets fed into to give people that sense of feeling of like, this is what the music's for. This is what this person represents. And you need all of it. Content, branding, marketing.
And listen, if you're an artist or manager watching this episode and you're trying to advance your career, execution and great advice is absolutely necessary. That's why I'm offering private one-on-one strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your career. Now look, with over 16 years of experience working with artists like Jesse Reyes and Eminem, or managers like Troy Carter and Tyler Henry, and brands like Nike and the Toronto Raptors, I can help you map out your next moves. Now, whether that's, your personal brand, creating a marketing plan, or building out your content schedule that actually provides results, or simply navigating the music industry to whatever is most relevant to where you're at, I want to help. You can now book a one-on-one consultation session for a fee with me through my Calendly. Find the link in the description below. Now let's get back to the pod with my man Ruff. So let's get into the content then. Let's define what that means from your perspective.
Content in 2025 is really everything that is out there. Like, this is content right now. This is going to be long form content. It will become short form content. It will become medium sized content because you know how to hack the algorithm and you do 20-minute bits of the 2-hour bit because he knows what's up.
I know what's up. But I think and this is something that was identified by a good friend of mine, Brian Espiritu, who helped me with the brand Bible for my overall company, A Till Faint. But and I use this as a North Star all the time, but I think of my company and this podcast as the sage. Always trying to give value, always giving information, always doing my best. That's what I lead with all the time. So the content is informed by that at all time, which is why I think it works. Because I'm clear on that direction with the content. Go on.
100%. Content is everything. And I think I was going to get to this at some point, but now's a good time to bring it in a micro level because this is like a 30-minute tangent if we want. I don't want to go there yet, but you have so much power as the artist today because if you're not willing, no one can force you in front of the camera. No one can force you to press post. And if you're not a level 5, 6, or 7 on the artist ladder superstar where there's enough content, aka footage, visual representation of you, photos, paparazzi videos, freaking fan front row that can at least populate the airwaves, you're not going to make noise. So like if you are a superstar, you don't have to post anything at all because there's going to be enough fans and fan pages or paid for and organically started and enough just content of the artist that circulates that they don't have to post. But you have so much power as an artist now because you have to press post to make a difference. The labels know that. Everybody knows that.
Right.
So the ones who can press post and do it well, but know that you can't do anything unless that artist buys in and press that post button.
Yeah.
Nothing can be done.
Yes.
Everything now.
Yeah. And the content also is the music. Well, let's not get, that's the most important piece of the content, in my opinion. We talk about it a lot. Russ, he did one song a week. Nick D does, I think he does one song every 2 weeks. So what I love to know just is what works for certain artists in terms of content? Because I think one of the things that a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of managers, they get confused and believe that because this artist is doing this, it works for them, so therefore they have to do it. Can we open that up a bit?
Yeah, that's like the worst thing you could ever do. Especially, I always say there's a rule. This artist had any traction whatsoever before 2022, can't look at them for anything. Different world back then.
Okay.
Well, Gaga does this in her Instagram. She posts once every 6 months. No, it's Lady Gaga. Or even Olivia Rodrigo blew up in 2021, right?
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo does it, pre-2022. And really now, because it's like the timeline's extended a little more, like it's really 2023. Because even so much has changed since then. Where like you can't point to any artist who had any traction, motion, blow up, anything pre-2023 because it was a different world then.
What changed?
Just oversaturation.
Okay. You think it just hit a point?
It just hit a point where like, at some point, like Nick D is great. And he was like, probably like not the first, but the first with traction to just take a camera that was better quality than an iPhone and lip sync in front of a camera.
Right.
Like he was like one of the first. There was a point in time where taking the concept of a budgeted music video and condensing it down to 22 seconds and just your chorus. There was a time in 2020 where that was innovative.
Right.
There was a first and then multiple firsts to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand in the middle of the road. I'm going to put my song, or I'm going to put my freaking mic hanging from a tree. I'm going to stand in the middle of the road. I'm going to lip sync into it, chorus of my song. I'm the first person to ever do that. Now that I can scroll fucking on my burner account that's all music content and see 8 high quality lip syncs with a hanging mic in 22 scrolls.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's just such an oversaturation that we can't look at definitely don't look at oh, well, Bruno Mars. So no, that's like, again, delusion. But then it's even like looking at 2020 to 2023, the content world was so different.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's better now.
Better.
Because there's people know that.
Or more refined, you mean
more refined, and there's just more formats that exist that different audiences are receptive to.
Yes.
So you find your target audience better if you understand the formats, because it isn't just back then there was a minute where everybody during COVID, when you couldn't really link up with videographers, and that wasn't even trending or anything, every artist was just doing where's the snare, and let's move the camera and lip sync, and now there's Snapchat transitions, and there's storytelling, and there's people doing full blown budgeted out trailers where there's voiceover and there's actors and there's extras. So there's so much opportunity now.
So what content does work, do you find? What's the sauce that you're giving to artists in 2025 that works?
There is no blanket works.
Yes.
We go through a long iterative process with 2 components. We got the content funnel.
Yeah.
And then we got our TV show strategy.
Okay, tell me about this.
So content funnel, all marketing is a marketing funnel. Top of funnel,
yes.
Middle of funnel, bottom of funnel.
Okay.
Our top of funnel content we call our discovery content. What is the broadest representation of the brand of all of those components, our values, our foundation, our archetype, our message, everything from the branding stage? What's the broadest way that we could present that so that people can discover us? And it's not about viral. It's just, this is more wide reaching. Let's take that and go, okay, now we have our middle of funnel, our connection content. How are we connecting those people who discovered me as the artist? How are we connecting them to the music without selling, without hardcore pushing. Then from there, again, and as we see my hands, it's getting smaller and smaller because people that discover you but don't connect with the music, they're out. Now we're in the connection phase. We've got conversion, bottom of funnel. If they connected with the music but they don't want to convert yet, they're out. And we got to bring them back in with discovery. So it's like how discovery content, connection content, conversion content. They serve different purposes. And a ton of artists are just posting conversion content. Link in bio, pre-save, out now. I show up, my song comes out Friday. I post the cover art. This song's coming out this Friday on Monday. Take Tuesday off. Wednesday, one lip sync video. Who's ready for Friday? Thursday, I'll throw up a story. Y'all pre-save yet? Friday,
100.
album art again. Album art again.
Yeah. 100 comments.
That's conversion.
Yeah.
Where are people discovering you? Where are we just like throwing that song in the background and just having text on screen while you're cooking?
Yeah.
And we just throw that on TikTok. Now we at least test a narrative of like, okay, I wrote this song about a breakup. So what if I just like, we at least test let's test the discovery component of like a broad angle of the breakup component of like the song's concept and be like, anybody else ever cook and see that one spatula that your ex always used to use and feel like they're still there? And it's like, no one cares. No, that's not a fucking relatable experience. Like, okay, how else can we position this song so that we're not actually talking about the song, but people are discovering us through the message of the song? And we have a long-standing process before the release to test narratives to figure out like what are people resonating with? How are they like receiving the message and core of the song through the top of funnel content where we're not selling the song?
What's an example of something you've seen recently or you've done that you're like, this worked really well?
From the top of funnel discovery content perspective, usually it's like a lot of just talking to the camera and alluding to a song without actually getting to the song. So it's just like, hey, anybody else ever this? People come into the comment section and they're talking about their relatable experiences. And you know, as the artist, you're like, I wrote the song about this, but let's not give it to them yet. But we know that the hook of did anybody ever, get cheated on and it was your best friend that they cheated with? Like, okay, that's the angle. Now let's do a connection content where it's like,
are you using the music in this content?
No.
You're not using the music.
No, we're just talking.
Okay.
And then we go, okay, people were really fired up by the, wow, you got cheated on and the ex cheated with your best friend. That seemed to be relatable and people were really fired up. What happens when I go, okay, this song goes out to my ex and my best friend who, were fucking behind my back. And that's like and then you go into the song. And then we just do the song with text on screen that's like, this is for anyone who got cheated on. Like, yeah, we've taken them from the relatable experience. It hit, people are relating to it, and the narrative is compelling. Let's funnel that and connect it down into the music. And then let's just show the music. And then we can throw ManyChat, CTA, comment X, and I'll send you the song 3 days before it comes out. And now we've created that conversion funnel.
Do you feel like sometimes that would come off as a little disingenuous because maybe I'm just thinking like too advanced of a fan, but where it would come off as like, oh, it's part of a rollout. They're selling me a song.
I mean, I think like my pushback on that will always be, when was the last time you were on social media today? Like you were probably scrolling in
Me?
the last, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Do you remember one thing
that I scroll through?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're right. But if I'm a fan of the artist, though,
because we're building fans.
You're building fans. So this isn't necessarily for somebody that it knows that this person is an artist. Is this in the artist ladder? Where could this be anywhere in the artist ladder? Really, 2 through 4 usually. Like. Okay.
Once, like, as you become established, like we should still always have, and I think the example to use is Taylor Swift. Again,
yes.
I always make this analogy of like, she still has a top of funnel content strategy. It's like, okay, she's dating Travis Kelce. What's the broadest interest group? The NFL. Her discovery, there's people who were watching the Super Bowl, they had never heard of Taylor Swift before, but they discovered her because the content was them showing her on the TV.
Yes.
And then they're like, oh, okay. And then next thing you know, they're like, Super Bowl recap.
That's a brilliant example.
Taylor Swift was seen with Ice Spice because they have an upcoming collab, and you're like, wait, I've heard of Ice Spice. That was that girl on the TV. She does music? Okay, now you've been connected to the music.
Yeah.
Now you go listen to the music and you're like, oh, this is great. I like it. But you're not totally converted yet.
Right.
Then, because our phones fucking listen to us, you're like scrolling and you see a video and it's like a fan-made video of Taylor Swift on stage singing that same song. And you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm sold. Like, I'm adding this to my gym playlist. So now you become in the ecosystem because all you did was watch the Super Bowl. And you're not even thinking about any of it. It's just happening.
Yeah, subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I remember now what I did scroll on social media is you see the golf? Bang! The guy fighting in the golf course?
No.
Oh, that's probably because I'm just like so knee deep in golf content these days, but like you have to watch it. It's this one guy who he's like hammered and he's taking forever to tee up. They're behind this group who's just taking forever, but it's because they're drunk. And so the guys behind go like, you need to fucking hurry up. You need to fucking get at it. And the guy's like, I'll do what the fuck I want. Turns out so the guy who's hammered, like little dude, went up to this guy who was a monster. The monster threw him in the lake of the golf course. He's like, you fucking came at me. And his buddy's like, you need to like chill. Like this is like, legal. He's like, you fucking came at me. Turns out the guy that he came at was a former NHLer.
Oh, of course.
The guy jumped out of the lake and he's like, oh, fucking come back. And so he grabs him and he's narrating his punches, literally hitting him and going, bang, bang, cracking him in the face, and drops him, goes again, bang. He's saying this, bang, bang. And now it's become a thing where like people are doing like oil paintings. They're taking photos of that location. They're just like narrating. There's second angles that are coming at it. It's this amazing thing anyways. I'm completely digressing, but it's fucking hilarious. But it's connected me to this.
And my For You page right now on Instagram could not be more different. It's this. Have you seen this kid that he takes a steak and he dips it into the eggs and he's like, this and a godly woman, and he looks like he's like 12?
No.
It's the greatest account. Like, because
what account is this?
Just like some kid. He says he's 18, but he looks like 12.
Okay.
And it's just like him taking the like steak and he just like dips it in the yolk of an egg. And he's just like, this and a godly woman.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And I just like send it to like my buddies and like people on the team with like no context. And it's like, what the fuck is
You gotta send that to me.
And now that's my whole, like, I sent like one video to one person and now I just keep
this kid just keeps popping up.
He's like, this and chest. And all the comments are like, yeah, breast milk. Like, it's the funniest account on Instagram.
But that's a good example of like that top of funnel. You're getting this because social media knows what you're spending.
And I keep sharing it and I keep getting it more and more.
Exactly. You don't even, and that's a good point. One thing that people should know is like, you don't even have to like, a lot of people don't even like liking certain things online because their digital print is on. But if they're sharing, it's going to keep popping up on your For You page, right? So people, to your point, again, I really want to hammer this home. It's like, think more about the shares and the saves. I would say the saves are important as well. When it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Like that's an important piece to the whole puzzle. But now here we are talking about other things that are in the music business, and it's just like, we're fascinated. I'm invested. I went to go look into this hockey player. What team did he play for?
You did?
I did. Yeah. Because I'm invested. I'm interested. And the guy who got smashed they found a photo of him saying, just a little black guy, nothing crazy. I'm like, who is this? Like, I'm interested. You know what I mean? To your point.
Took a broad top of funnel. You discover the situation and you're connected to it.
Yeah.
Now, like if the Barstool makes a shirt of the guy punching it, you might buy it and become a converted fan. A transactionally financial contribution fan.
Yes.
Because of a dumb video. Like, the world these days.
Bottom of funnel right there.
Yeah.
That's the bottom of the funnel.
Oh, yeah.